Ladies and gentlemen, if you hadn't figured it out already, we have a first start on our 1972 Suzuki 500 Titan. If you are new to the channel and you're interested in this motorcycle, I have a series of videos from the time I picked it up in Georgia till now, the first start. I will leave a link in the description below for that playlist. Before we can do the first start, I had to do a little clutch work, a little electrical work, a little carburetor fuel delivery work. My hopes are, brethren, that all of you enjoy this video. Background noise as normal, rain. I've got a funnel here, I taped my cable to it, poured some bar and chain oil in it for a chainsaw. Let it sit overnight and it dripped out of that cable there. So it's ready to go. That's the clutch cable. This is a clutch mechanism that fits inside of the clutch housing, and it's pretty cool. It's Teflon in there. So I'm going to clean all this up, put grease on it. It does have a Zerg fitting on the cover, but I'll put a little grease on there just to get it started off. I can't get it back in there. I can, but not on camera. I'll get it. It fits down in that housing, that cylinder part. And then this cable right here I had trouble taking off. Just so you know, there's a tab here to hold the cable in place up and down, and there's a slit on the side here that the cable slips out that slit on the side. And I couldn't see it. It was hard to see, and that's why I'm telling you guys about it. In case you run into that, you just gotta slide it through that side. I didn't have my spring hooked up. There you go. Make sure you hook up your spring. I'm gonna stick the clutch cover on temporarily just to try out the clutch. This right here is a little plastic piece that fits there on the shifter. Also this, when I kick it over, this case, this housing will probably support the shaft. I got to thinking about that. I hate for this shaft to bend while I'm kicking it over. So with this, it'll support it while I kick it over. I don't feel like cleaning up the chain and stuff right now, so sprockets, we'll do that later. It actually feels like it's adjusted properly, so we may not have to do that. Probably should adjust this down on the cover, but not critical right now. It's working good. Our mighty Titan is going to require fuel and a lot of it, so this pile of carburetor parts will need to be assembled and put onto the bike. If you look up here, I've been working on these header pipes a little bit. Got all the rust off of them, then I just spray painted them with aluminum spray paint, like a hot heat type, and then I'm going to go and polish the outsides of them that is still chrome to help them look a little better. Anytime I put something together, I always sort everything out and look at it, sort it out, figure it out, try and imagine how it would go back together before I start the assembly process. Let's put one of these carburetors together. They're the same, so here is a jet. I don't know which jet. I guess idle speed jet. Maybe they call it something, I don't know, doesn't matter. So long as I put it in there. That's a new one from the kit. I believe they call this a main jet, and I checked the number to make sure it matched my old one, and it does. It's a 150. The small one I didn't see any numbers on. Taking a chance there. I'm going to save my old parts. New needle and seat. That's pretty sweet. Little rhyming there. Alright. Anyways, there's your washer. Needle and seat. Nice new screw and spring here for, I guess, the idle air mixture. Whoop, how did I do that? That doesn't even seem possible. New spring and screw here for the, I think, idle mixture. How in the world? How's that happening? New spring. Oh, it's fallen all the way through. Interesting. That's the wrong. Wrong one. New spring and needle for our idle air adjustment. We'll put that in there. I'm barely snugging it, not cranking down at it at all, just barely snugging it. Now I'll back it off. I have no clue what the setting is. I'm just gonna back it off, I don't know, 1.5. For now, I'll have to look it up. Don't know what the settings are. This spring and needle adjusts the thingamabob right here, the height for your idle. It works together with the other one. In conjunction with, can we say it like that? In conjunction with. I'll just back it off a little. That's not a big deal right now. Our little float and a pin that goes through it. There we go. And we need to check the adjustment on this booger. That's how I'm checking the float level. It's not a technical way. There is a measurement probably for this. Good enough. This will work. I believe it'll work. If it doesn't, you guys can put in the comments, you know, how stupid I am and I should have done the exact measurement on the float. Now our gasket, this hole goes through that pipe. Make sure you have that right, because I think you could put it on the opposite way, but that wouldn't be a good thing to do. The bowl, 4 screws. These 2 washers, I forgot, they fit underneath the main jet inside of there, so we get to revisit the inside of this baby and put them on there. So there we go. No harm done. It happens. Glad I didn't have them on the bike already. That's the main thing. Choke linkage all crusty-fied. I'm going to clean them up, paint them, and then we'll install them. My metal choke parts have been painted and fixed. The way it works, this is the handle side. It goes with a carburetor with this vacuum thing on it. This vacuum line goes to a petcock valve made for the motorcycle that I don't have, so I'm going to block it off. But the handle goes with that. And the way it works is this piece is incorporated with this so that this little spot here catches on it, you know, when you open the handle and shut it. So that's the way it needs to be done. I opted to use these old choke pieces because they look okay on the bottom, but this part, I think the rubber is all that holds this on there. I think. I could be wrong. There could be a clip under there. I'm just not even willing to explore because I don't want to mess up that rubber. I have the new ones and I'll save them for a later date if I need them. Now you can see how that works. See, it locks the choke up or down, that little plate, and the plate fit on top. And there's a little pin. See that little tiny pin? You line that up so that this doesn't slide side to side. Here's how the other side goes together. It's really simple, that side. You just screw it on there. That rod connects both carburetors together. I made a crucial mistake. If you look at that screw right there where the rod goes, that should spin freely, and it does not. It's stiff. It's froze up. So hopefully I can get it freed up without messing the paint up too bad. I need to synchronize these carburetors, and all that is you see that right there and there? They need to be the same height on both sides. So how do I accomplish that? First I back it off so it's all the way down. Then I just use this as a piece of welding wire. I don't know what you can use anything, but anyways, stick it in there. And then I tighten the screw. I'm using this wire as kind of a feeler gauge, this little piece of wire as a feeler gauge. Basically, see, I just felt it lift up. There you go, you got just a hair of drag. Both carbs have to be set at the exact same spot. See that little hole right there? That's where I'm checking it, right there. In the same spot on both carbs. Carbs are installed. That right there has to be stopped up because I'm not using the original petcock. That's like a vacuum deal. to open and close the fuel somewhere or another. I don't know. Anyways, make sure you stop it up if you're not using the original carburetors. And it's just close to the intake boot on the left side if you're sitting on the bike. Bought a brand new throttle cable just because I didn't want to have any trouble with the oiler and stuff. And got her all hooked up. So what I did here, you have to synchronize all the cables. Easy enough. Right here, and then there's an adjustment on the oil pump. Let's see if I can get you in there. See that where it's threaded? And what you're looking, there you go, focused. What you're looking for is just to get everything synchronized together. So when you pull the throttle cable back, all three of these things are opening exactly the same time. Alright, our air filter stuff, this is brand new because this one was all crapped up and junk. Very expensive, like 90 bucks. This air filter, same. I mean, there's $200 worth of air filters and rubber here. So, it's awful, but I'd rather have it than not. I didn't really want to do the pod filter thing. And I want to put the air filter, mufflers, all that stuff on. It'll give us a good chance at starting it if everything's right. Not what you want to see, but pretty common. A lot of wires are chewed up in here. Mouser's been in there. Butt connectors. Catastrophe right here. All the wiring now has been repaired. You see all the red? That is all heat shrink. That means that wire was either bare and needed to be insulated with heat shrink, or had to be cut, soldered, fixed, and there is a ton of it. There are the coils installed. Here is wiring down here. See this new loom? And all the wiring, there's a battery in there. We're getting ready to try the key. All this stuff I repaired and fixed. Difficult? No, but time consuming? Yes. This took me quite a while to straighten up all this wiring. It was a rat's nest, bird's nest, whatever you want to call it, a complete mess of a wiring situation on this motorbike. Everything is repaired. Could I go back and make a brand new wiring harness? Yes. Should I? I don't know. This will work fine. It'd be nice to have a new one if we restore this machine. Here we go. I'm going to turn the key on. I suspect a lot of the things will work. I checked the bulbs and, hey, these coils are hot. Maybe the key, oh, the key was on. I just noticed. All right, so that's not good. You don't want to heat the coils up. One's hot, one's not. All right, anyways, here's the key. Here's a, so we got a horn. Here's a headlight right there. See that? Let's see if, what's this, low, high, low. That's high and low beam. We have a tail light. Let's see if the brake light works. Oh, kinda. I think it's in the switch. It worked the first time. Wiring, I would say, is good. Switch. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Ah, so that works. That's good. Very good. See, the gauges are lit up. Let's see. Off. On. Isn't that cool? I never did check them bulbs. I just got lucky there. Alright, turn signals. This bulb will load up that flasher. And because I don't have turn signals, so we'll just try it and see what happens. Left. Oh, there we go. Let's try right. So I just gotta swap these wires to the right side. Ah, look at that. So we got flashers in the back, turn signals. But time now for the most important part of this whole electrical dealio. Let's see if it's got spark. Key on. Here we go. Oh, lots of spark. Wow, cool. It has the hottest and prettiest of blue spark you have ever seen. I hope you guys can see it. Here's the other side. It's been about 6 months since I took this tank off. Maybe more than that. I did install a rubber grommet right there where the fuel tank mounts. It didn't have one. I assume it's supposed to have one. Not sure, but it's got one now. I would think it needs it. I'm going to put a little fuel in the tank before I put the air filter on, just in case the floats are sticking or something, I'll know. I mixed it 32-to-1, which is too much, especially with the oil pump running. But this is first startup. I'll just put maybe half a gallon in, then we can mix some straight gas in it if everything's working. Go from there. That air filter is a really tight fit. I had to loosen the gas tank back up, but it's in there. There's our left side header bolts and header. There is our right side bolts and header. And our mufflers are installed. So I don't know if I should change the bolts and make a match. All four of them are different on the headers, but you know, it costs money to buy bolts. I just really need to think about it. For now anyways, we need to try and fire this thing up. Check this out up here. This is the oil vent hose right here. I thought it held the wiring harness, this little bracket, but after looking into it, I think that's how it goes. I still haven't put anything on the end of it. Probably should though. So I got two of these temperature gauges right here. They just mount on the spark plug. Wanted to hook those in so I could kind of monitor things. So that's how they mount on. They just bolt underneath the plugs. You got to take a little crush sleeve off. Otherwise, I don't think they'll work without taking that off. How accurate are these little gauges? I don't know. This one's saying 72 degrees. And this one is saying 81. So I don't know. Alright, time to see what I did wrong. Let's find out. Hopefully nothing, but I don't know. You never know. Let's give her a kick. Oh, choke. Let's put some choke on. Put some rubber on the kickstart. It really should have started by now, I would have thought. I may have something wrong. Let's try some more. Oh. Oh. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to change the spark plug wires over just for a kick or two to see if I have them on backwards or if I timed the wrong cylinders backwards or whatever. I was afraid of that. When I timed it, I must not have timed, you know, the right and left cylinders correct. So swapping the spark plug wires, that's all I need to do. I can go back and change the timing, probably won't. Let's try her again. There you have it, the first start video on this T500 Titan. What's the next step on this build? I'm not real sure. I've been still kind of thinking about what I'm wanting to do next. But one thing is for sure, there's going to be more videos on this bike, so stay tuned. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.